We're giving away 1000 XRP to those who are watching. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe, comment. XRP is king and watch the video to the end to be eligible.
Ever hear someone claim that Ripple and XRP are part of the plan? Because I constantly hear that in the XRP community, I want to explain what that means in this video. And many people who respond by saying, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. There isn't any plan for XRP and Ripple to help transform our financial system, etc. actually want to demonstrate why that isn't entirely accurate. In fact, there is a ton of evidence demonstrating that Ripple and XRP are being placed in a highly unique position that no other cryptocurrency firm or payment company is even anywhere near. I want to demonstrate some pretty intriguing videos in this one so you can see why Ripple and XRP aren't your typical businesses or digital assets. Some of the most influential organizations in the world are home to them. To help you understand what we're truly dealing with here, I want to show you some clips. For the simple reason that I believe many people who haven't seen some of these videos will be utterly startled by what I'm about to show you. The two clips I'm about to show you will be played in a different order than I had planned. However, it's crucial to comprehend the current functioning of the US governmental system. It will be further reinforced by the videos I'll be showing you. Therefore, not many people are aware that think tanks, rather than the elected officials you see on TV every day, play a significant role in how the US government introduces new policies. These think tanks are responsible for making the majority of the crucial decisions that will determine how the US will move forward in the future. However, it's actually a lot of consulting firms working behind the scenes in organized groups, acting out various scenarios and theories, and sort of coming to a consensus on how to move this new policy forward. Therefore, it's crucial to realize that the US government doesn't actually make all the decisions. Rather, it collaborates closely with the private sector to address questions like, hey, how are we going to introduce this new payment system? How will cryptocurrencies be included in the financial system of the future? Many individuals have the misguided belief that government representatives such as Joe Biden and Janet Yellen just meet in a room and begin discussing how they plan to change the new financial system. Actually, that is not at all how it operates, and they merely serve as spokespersons for the forthcoming changes. After saying that, I want to show you a video that will really demonstrate how Ripple is collaborating with the most influential organizations in the world to modernize this financial system. But first, let me show you another video that will provide you with a bit more information on how these think tanks actually operate. And I believe that after seeing these videos, you guys will fully comprehend that Ripple is involved in some of the largest developments that are on the horizon. And it's no accident. This isn't a conspiracy theory. They are being actively sought out by the US government to develop XRP into a vital piece of future payment infrastructure. Pay attention, this is fascinating.
I think we have come a long way since the initial days of Bitcoin and blockchain, where the narrative back then was down with banks, down with central banks, down with governments. The philosophy then, initial days, was very anarchist, so to say. I think Ripple actually took a very contrarian view and actually said, no, we will be working with central banks, regulators, and banks to make sure that our solution is widely adopted. And which is why I'm actually employed by Ripple, because so we actually work very closely with about 40-50 central banks across the globe, including Bank of Thailand. So Ripple has taken that approach of collaboration and education, as Mansa mentioned.
There's think tanks, like what I'm just talking about is Andrew, are there people in the CIA and intelligence agencies that think about these things from like an economic standpoint? Like people outside of Powell and Yellen that just, kind of comfort the markets? Are there people that, there's think tanks, like what I'm just talking about? Does that happen?
Yeah, essentially the way that we do it, Darren, is you don't trust that kind of calculation or assessment to a staffer. You don't keep that in-house. You go to a think tank and you work with think tanks, multiple think tanks, to get their assessments. So it's no secret that some of the closest partners with CIA and NSA are commercial entities, right? Booz Allen Hamilton, Deloitte, CACI, the list goes on, and they'll get multiple assessments every year from these individuals because they employ, effective economists, senior economists, and researchers, and they can come up with a sort of estimate about what is reasonable to expect in the next 12 to 24 months regarding macroeconomics and things of that sort. So it's better to outsource it to a specialty group or lean into any one of the relationships that we have with leading institutions, right? Colleges, universities, et cetera, because that's where the information comes from. And we trust American institutions because they're some of the leading institutions in the world. So it's very easy to kind of sign a 5-year.
We trust American institutions because they're the best in the world. Andrew Busmani, CIA spy, says that the U.S. government will pick certain big corporates with senior economic advisors that are able to plan for something that happens. So an example of this is BlackRock's going direct plan. What happened with BlackRock's going direct plan? Well, it was a white paper that laid out the entire response to C-19. The entire response. The government handing out stimulus checks, how the Fed would have to start buying junk bonds. Powell was not in control. BlackRock wrote a white paper that gave them directions on everything to do. So Powell may be the face, but it's this. And you know what's ironic about this is when I was asking questions to Andrew, he said, you know, you're seeing things conspiratorial. Well, how else am I going to see things? If you're telling me that there's senior economists from an American institution that gives directions to the Fed, that gives directions to the Treasury, right? They're controlling those organizations. Some outside corporate controls what's in front of us, right? So this was a bearable guy, Riddle, right? And that's what he's saying. The powers that be, they're in control, but don't worry, Ripple's part of this. Don't worry, Ripple is part of this entire thing, right? If you look back at some of these things, right? That's what Bearable Guy was saying. Now, we know this is true. You know how we know this is true? This is the Faster Payments Task Force. The Faster Payments Task Force is a coalition of large banks, large payment providers, the top of the top in the United States, came together and works directly with the Federal Reserve. Ripple is a part of this organization, has employees for this organization that represents the Faster Payments Task Force, like Ryan Zagone and others. This is a Ripple and U.S. Faster Payments Task Force. Transforming the way money moves, a special report, U.S. Faster Payments Council and Ripple on the transformative opportunities of crypto-enabled payments and what's leading providers expect next. So this is one of those think tanks that Andrew is describing. This is one of those think tanks. When the Fed leans on somebody to give them guidance on crypto-enabled payments, digital currencies, all this stuff, they're going to go to the Faster Payments Council, which Ripple's a part of. Not only is Ripple a part of the Faster Payments Council in the United States, here is Anthony Welfare at the Digital Euro Association, which is also a think tank. They actually advertise it as Digital Euro Think Tank. I've seen it in other places. Look at this, though.
I believe that Darren Moore Jr. did an outstanding job there. I often repeat this. He is, in my opinion, one of the top XRP researchers out there. The next video he was going to show was really the CBDC Ripple that is building for Palau on the XRP ledger, so I strongly advise you to start watching his work if you haven't already. Additionally, he emphasizes how closely allied the Federal Reserve is with Palau, which is essentially a U.S. territory. The U.S. military has also accurately foreseen them in every way. United States clearance is required for whatever Palau does. Additionally, they are creating a CBDC on the XRP ledger. It appears to be a demo version of digital money from the U.S. Central Bank. What then do we know? As you can see from the movies I just showed you, Ripples collaborates with 50 central banks worldwide. For U.S. territory, live CBDCs are being constructed. What do we currently know? The way the government functions is known to us. Just watched a video that claimed this is how the U.S. develops policy. They collaborate behind the scenes with the business world to determine how to best apply this technology. This is what sets Ripple apart from other Bitcoin businesses. This is not being done by any other cryptocurrency business. Do you believe that Uniswap will meet with the Federal Reserve? Naturally not. To that end, I assert that Ripple and XRP are components of a much larger scheme. Every cryptocurrency in existence will have a retail-based application. They will be utilized for various tasks such as NFTs, retail transfers, small DeFi projects, and other similar things. And while that may be very valuable in the future, it is absolutely unrelated to the infrastructure that Ripple and XRP are constructing in the background. No other project is carrying out work like this. And the reason for this is that Ripple was the first cryptocurrency business from the beginning to collaborate with governments and banks to modernize their infrastructure for a new financial system that was built right into the internet of value. I hope that clarifies everything. I observe that many individuals struggle to comprehend this in its entirety. Few people are aware of how distinct Ripple and XRP are from the rest of the available cryptocurrencies. It's possible that some cryptocurrencies have a marginally better strategy. There may be a few cryptocurrencies that can perform a little bit better, but none of them have this and will probably never perform well. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming, guys. I trust you like this update. Make sure to subscribe if you do. It truly means a lot, at least for the moment.